Hey, everybody, it's Josh. First of all, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I just wanted to jump in real quick here because Jack and I recorded a bunch of episodes for this podcast before we started releasing them. And for this one, that's important for a couple reasons. The first is we kind of dive into the Oscars for the past year, the 2025 Oscars, talking about the year of 2024. Because at the time we recorded it, it was an important topic and we wanted to give our predictions and talk about certain things. And now they have since come out, but at least you can kind of get a peek into what we were thinking out right before the Oscars came out. And the second is that we recorded a bunch of these episodes before we started releasing them and have since decided to change the name of the podcast. So in these first couple of episodes especially, there's definitely going to be some references throughout to the previous name that we had. But I have been able to go back and retroactively re-record the opening intro to each of the podcasts. So if the audio sounds a little different than when we get into the podcast proper, that's the reason why. Is because that I have gone back and re-recorded the intro to reflect the new name, which is The Long List. So without further ado, welcome to The Long List, a podcast where we celebrate movies and pop culture through the storied art of rankings. No wrong answers, no bad opinions, hot takes always encouraged. I'm Josh Muller. Today I'm with my brother Jack Muller, and this episode is all about the year 2024. We're going to be sprinkling in some fun categories throughout the podcast, and at the end of the year, we're going to be giving our top 5 films of last year.
At the end of the podcast.
At the end of the podcast. What did I say? At the end of the year?
Well, that's fine.
It's kind of like that, I guess.
It is true. That's true.
Really, it's towards like the 80% of the podcast, I suppose. But if we're getting really technical, Jack.
Yes.
I guess first, did you see anything interesting this week?
I'm on TV right now. I'm going to be honest. I got Severance. I got White Lotus back. Some bad television.
Things are looking up.
Some bad reality television. Kind of.
What? I don't even know what reality television is on these days. That phase has lost me. I was there at one point in college.
You could talk to Alex about it.
Okay.
That's my girlfriend. I kind of just follow her lead as far as that. And she follows my lead as far as movies.
A wise policy.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I caught up. I was only watching 2024 movies,
right.
The things that I
missed I
this
saw
year.
A couple of those too.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about them. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been watching. I think I've watched 5 new movies in 5 consecutive nights for
Good
2024.
for you.
Yeah. I usually try to keep up on this. Like last year, and I don't know if we'll ever do a podcast for maybe we will someday, but last year I was pretty up to date throughout. Like I saw a bunch of the movies when they came out in theaters. This year, for whatever reason, I just couldn't get to the theaters as much. Not many movies interested me as much as we were heading through the year. And at the end of the year, I really had to play catch up. So
I also felt like a lot of the movies this year, a lot of the good ones came out throughout the year as opposed to a bunch of them just happening at the end. I mean, a bunch of them did happen at the end.
That's interesting. I actually felt the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were a bunch of
my list.
Well, I mean, like last year, for instance, we had like these. I mean, some of these are just Josh Core movies, but like we had the Barbenheimer thing in the middle of the year, and those were big Oscar movies. And then we had Mission Impossible right before that, or right after that,
true.
or something.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there were a bunch of things to watch earlier in the year. I mean,
this summer wasn't very stacked with movies.
At least not with movies that like
Wicked
stuck with me.
Fall.
Yeah, I don't know, like
okay.
September, October. I'm not really sure.
All right.
There were a lot of the quote unquote Oscar movies felt like they were dumped at the end of the year, and like late.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like at the end, but well, I maybe this is just my personal experience, but I had trouble keeping up with some of the late Oscar arrival movies.
Yes, so did I.
Yeah, so then that'll be a theme of the podcast. I guess that kind of bleeds into the first question I have for 2024. Is that what do you feel like the pulse of this movie year is like on a macro level? Like, how did you like it? I mean, did any movies really stick out? And what was it like from a general perspective? 30,000 foot view.
I guess, movies stuck out for sure, certain ones, but overall, it wasn't my favorite year of films. Or, I think there were a lot of good ones. I don't think there were a lot of great ones.
Right. Yeah. I kind of feel the same way. And I don't know if we've had this conversation off camera, but I'm just going to lead into how I'm going to explain it. I'm big into Letterboxd. I don't have a lot of followers or follow a lot of people, but I like to track my movies and rate them, and I have a lot of fun doing it. And it's out of 5 stars. So that is now how I talk about rating a movie.
This has been a controversial discussion elsewhere in our lives.
Yeah, well, I don't know how far we're going to get into it now, but I kind of considered this year the year of the 3.5-star movie, which changed a little bit over this past week of catching up. But I thought there were a lot of movies that I thought were solid to good, and not too many movies that really stood out from the pack.
Yeah.
And again, in the last, 72 hours, I've had a couple of movies that are changing my opinion a little bit, but just relating it back to last year, I thought there were a lot of like 4-star movies, like a lot of them. And I think the very tip top of my rankings, both from this year, I'm saying this year as in 2024, and 2023 are pretty close, but like the next 10 to 15 movies, I much preferred 2023. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I thought it was a little more.
You had a couple really top ones this year.
Yeah.
But for the most part, 2023 had a lot more of movies that will stand the test of time in your mind.
Yeah, or like that I will want to revisit, or that I just had more fun watching. Not to say, again, like to your point, I didn't think these movies were bad from this year. I just thought they were solid. 3.5.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
Nothing to write home about necessarily.
Also felt that this year was how do I say this? It's kind of a vibey year. Kind of a lot of movies that immerse yourself in it, or almost, not a lot of action, not a lot of.
Oh yeah, okay. I think I know what you're saying.
Right, kind of sit there and
let it wash over you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
nothing that's really, at least for me, not too many things that really move the needle from an emotion garnering aspect.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe I'm just forgetting some things, but not a lot of action spectacle too. Well, like for instance, I don't know, maybe it'll make your list. It won't make mine, but Gladiator 2 was like the big summer action movie. It was fine. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. There were some cool scenes. There was some good action, but it
was way too much like the first Gladiator, which was the only thing that I didn't want to happen. Was I was worried that there was going to be
cut,
copy
paste, repeat.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it was exactly that. And I was pretty disappointed, especially with the end. I mean, I didn't even know why they ended it the way that they ended it.
Yeah.
In the Coliseum, not to spoiler or anything, but some great sequences, great characters, but
yeah, and it just wasn't as good as the first one.
No,
and
because it was the first one. They just did it again.
I don't even know who was asking for it. Like, why are we making this movie? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you had a story to tell, I get it. I heard that like Ridley Scott couldn't make the movie he wanted to the first time around because Oliver Reed's character died in film production, which is pretty crazy that they were able to pull that out.
And the story is pretty crazy too. Yeah. He was in a drinking contest.
Yes. Oh, actual Oliver Reed. Yes. Yeah. Had a heart attack in a bar or whatever because people kept making him drink beer.
He was in a contest, I believe. That's what I read.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right.
Badass.
Well, yeah. It didn't work out, but
felt like a Western.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I guess he didn't feel like he could make the movie he wanted, and therefore he made this movie. But it's just too similar like the first one. Anyway, we're getting too caught up with a movie that won't make our list.
Sorry, we spent a lot of time on Gladiator 2.
This year also kind of seemed like there's been a real backlash, or I don't know if that's the right word, but a real reverting back to normal with regards to like big IP, like specifically MCU. I feel like MCU's taken a hit in the popular culture over the last few years. They're still making movies, and they have a chance to get it back, and we'll probably talk about that later in the episode, but it just hasn't been the same, and therefore I feel like more standalone movies have had a chance to shine. I say that, and then I'm looking at the box office records, and it doesn't reflect. But as far as movies that are getting rewarded and movies that are seeping through the popular culture, I do feel like superhero movies and MCU specifically has really taken a back seat.
Right.
They've been hit hard.
Yeah.
I mean, we also had like Dune and Wicked, which are big IP movies, but I feel like that's a little bit different.
Definitely.
You know?
And Dune was so long ago at this point.
Yeah.
You know, came out right at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Do you think in 2024 we have a box office crisis?
Tell me more.
Well,
do you think that, Josh?
I don't know how I feel, but like it's just different now, and part of that is from like 2020 when COVID hit. They had to rework how we all see movies, but now it's like a movie has a weekend or two at the box office, and everybody follows the numbers really closely, and if it doesn't do well, boom, you're out, and it's straight to video on demand, VOD, which is fine. I mean, in a way, we all have these great TVs now, so it's not like it was 20 years ago when movies watched at home were totally a different experience. I mean, it is a totally different experience than the theater, but it's closer now.
Closer.
Yeah, it's certainly closer now with our TVs and like simple access to soundboards and stuff, or sound bars. I mean, but I just wish that movies had a longer run in the theater than they get, because like there's no more word of mouth. It's like if you don't immediately get it, you're out.
It's weird. I experienced this with A Complete Unknown, which I saw kind of late, and it had yet to be released, had yet to start to be streaming, and there were 0 showtimes. I mean, there were showtimes. There would be literally like 2 showtimes throughout the day.
Right.
So at that point, I'm like, okay, well, if I can't see it in the movie theater,
I can't see it at 11:30 and 5.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And it literally was. It would be like 11:45 and 9, and I'm like, okay, what does that even mean? So I don't know. I am guilty of being a big fan of watching movies at home. Obviously, love the theater experience, but I don't know. Other people in theaters can ruin it for me. It happens. People eating around me and all these things. Why you got to be eating?
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm just like old man on my lawn now, but like it does feel like there's a little bit of a culture shift, probably starting with COVID, where people just act differently in movie theaters now. And I don't know if I'm cherry picking those.
Starting with COVID, I think it was honestly a personal thing that I just started to get bothered by those things more.
Could be.
I don't know.
But I feel the same way.
Right. You're right.
So I don't know if it's just you or if like the general culture has shifted. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the answer. I'm just asking the question.
Going to the movies is a great experience for, MCU sort of movies or at big sort of movies like that. It's great to be around a bunch of people and have the whole reaction thing go down.
Right.
But I mean, if I'm going to, understated drama, I would like to go to movie theater, but I want it to be empty.
Right. And
I want to be able to
usually are these days. Yeah, I love going to see the big spectacle movies. I do still. This is just a preference because like the difference between a pretty small movie theater screen and my TV, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but is minimal. And I have a really good 4K OLED TV. And it's great to watch movies on. So like but I do still love going to like like mom and pop sort of boutique theaters and watching
art house theaters and things like that. Yeah.
And we're lucky in the Bay Area, we still have a bunch of those. If you live in LA or New York, there's like one on every corner. So there are certain areas where they have those and
they're fading fast though.
They are.
Yeah.
But I still like going to the ones that exist and watching a little indie movie that I feel like is just like almost like a little secret.
Right.
But I mean, it's a different experience. So box office, it's changing. I hope it doesn't change that crazily. And I wish they had a way to keep movies in theaters longer, which kind of bleeds into my next conversation. Did you see what Quentin Tarantino said about movies? I don't know. It was like a few weeks ago at some film.
I lose track of all the Quentin Tarantino quotes and him saying a bunch of some crazy stuff.
He kind of loses the plot a little bit, but he's still my guy. But he basically said movies are dead, and he's not going to make another movie to have it just go straight to VOD. He said the last great year was 2019, which someone else pointed this out, but coincidentally, that's the last year he made a movie. But it was also right before COVID, and then COVID legitimately, for good reasons, changed things, and it's been hard to get people back into the theaters without some big pop culture event like Barbenheimer.
Right.
So, I don't know. QT, movies might be dead.
I doubt he's out. I don't think movies are dead.
Well, he says he's only going to make 10, and he's already made 9, so maybe he just cuts it early. I don't think he will. Come on, man. Give us one more.
For sure. And, movies are still being made. I don't understand how he can say that they're dead. It's kind of insulting to just like a bunch of people still making movies.
I agree. And while I love the theater experience, I don't think that's the only way you can experience a movie, especially with the screens that are pretty readily available right now.
I wholeheartedly agree. And sound systems, just turn off all your lights and sit closer.
Yeah, I mean, like 30... Right. Well, like 30, 40 years ago, it was really expensive to get a really good TV, a really good CD player or a DVD player, a really good sound system. It's just not that way anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to go top of the line, it's still expensive, but you can get pretty good stuff, like sound bars are like $100, $150,
Thank you for mine. Christmas present from Josh.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Anyway, so just some thoughts I had on the movie year as a whole. Do you want to acknowledge movies that we didn't get to now, or do you want to do it when we get closer to give our actual list?
I can get into it now. I'm disappointed in myself for not seeing a couple.
It happens.
I'd say my big ones that I didn't see were The Brutalist, Sing Sing,
Yeah.
Nickel Boys, and maybe The Substance. Those are probably the big four.
I didn't get to The Substance. It's a body horror movie. I know I want to see it. It's just like low on my list, and that's just my own personal thing. And I didn't get to, as far as Oscar, I didn't get to I'm Still Here, the Brazilian movie.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I want to, but only got 4 more days. Yeah, I mean, there's some other movies like I heard good things about, what was that movie called? It was like a horror movie. I Saw the TV Glow or something like that. Yeah. I didn't get to that. It's on Max right now. I didn't get to Long Legs. There's a couple of foreign films that I heard were really good that I didn't get to. So they're, and these are films that like I could easily see based on what I've heard them cracking my top 5 or very close to it. I just didn't get to them. We can't get to everything. Yeah. So just want to throw that out there right out of the gate. Apologies to you people who liked those movies and they don't make our list. All right, let's jump into the first top 5.
Let's do it.
So the first top 5 we had planned today was top 5 scenes / sequences / moments, or maybe even shots or lines. It's a pretty wide open field. You can go whichever direction you want to go. Something that just was quick and affected you in a movie. I pretty much have mostly sequences, but
yeah, so do I.
Okay, so who wants to go first?
You go first.
All right, I'm gonna go first. So top 5 sequences.
Coming in at
most of these, let me look at the list here. Most of these are from movies that did not make my top 5. Part of that was intentional, and part of that couldn't be avoided. And we'll get to it. So my number 5 is the Like a Rolling Stone sequence from A Complete Unknown when they were preparing to record that song in the studio. And I felt like the whole movie was, it's...
Oh, the organist?
Yeah. I felt like the whole movie, we're going from folk to rock and roll, and that's like his huge... I mean, if you had to pick one huge song that he has, that's probably it. And I felt like the whole movie was building to that moment, and the organist is running around...
It's also from the title of the film.
True. Right. And he's like running around, he's a guitar player, and he just wants to be in the song, and then they go, play this. And then the snare drum hits, and it's like, man, good job.
Yeah.
They delivered in that song, which I was a little bit nervous about.
It really emphasizes like the layers of music, and kind of like what they did with the kazoo, which made my long list of sequences was just the fact that the kazoo came up and the way it unfolded was like, as soon as he did it on the streets, it was like, they're doing here we go. And similarly, like you're saying with the organ, it's like, you could tell that he was about to play the organ
Right.
without being in it. But in my mind, I was like, how does the organ come in? Or, you don't actually hear it in your head until you hear it in the movie. And then you're like, oh yeah.
And it's happening quick, and like the math is going on in your brain. Like, oh, this is going to be something I'm supposed to remember. And how does the song go? But you're watching the screen, and it was chaotic. And then as soon as they hit record, it's like, bam,
It
like a
also
Rolling
might
Stone.
be
It was great.
one long shot. Maybe not, but they do it in a way that they're moving around the studio. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of
They're
feels
exploring
like,
the space, if you will.
yes.
No, it was really good, and it was. I mean, I felt like the movie was leading to that moment, and they nailed it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Thought that was really good. Number 4, the war rig scene in Furiosa. I didn't think Furiosa lived up to the Mad Max Fury Road epic heights in just like action, but that one war rig scene was awesome.
What's the war rig scene?
That's what they build up, that big war rig that has like the big crane on the back, and
Yeah.
people tried to rob it, and there's
Okay.
like guys jumping on
Like
and
the
off.
first one.
The first
The first time
big
you're going
action
down the road
scene.
with
Yeah.
the dude. Yeah.
It was great. That was also I thought the part that was closest to Fury Road, and I liked the movie. I just didn't think it quite lived up to those heights, and I just feel like a lot of people felt the same way. I actually felt like a lot of people didn't like it, and I maybe got a little unfairly panned. I thought it was good. I just didn't think it was as good. But the war, you're smart. What does that look for?
No comment yet.
Okay. Oh, yikes. But yeah, I thought the war rig scene was just awesome. So number 3, on a movie that I didn't like as much until the very end, and it was definitely a big one from earlier in the movie, or early in the film year, and that was Challengers, the match point scene of tennis that really rounded out kind of like both the themes in the movie and what everybody was talking about in the movie and tennis as a whole, and it looked really cool. The very last tennis match, the match point volley, I guess you would say, was really, really awesome, and just totally brought the movie home and knocked it up a whole half star, maybe a whole star for me, because the movie was good. It's just not really my thing. And then that scene just really drove it home. Really, really good. My number 2.
My boy Trent Reznor also with the score
got
nominated.
Did not get nominated.
Oh really?
Yeah, and he won the Golden Globe and didn't get nominated.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well,
Sorry, continue.
that was a hot take by people that he didn't get nominated even though I think he has a partner, and they've been in a very celebrated partnership for the last 20 years of movie. Fincher uses him. That's why I said that. I know you did. I just wanted to explain why I just threw out a random Fincher. Number 2, in a small drama that my wife loved, I thought was good. Didn't make my list. But the dad monologue in His Three Daughters at the end of the movie was incredible. I thought the movie was good. Thought the acting was very good. Though some of the writing was a little bit on the nose, and just like it was a very talky movie, and I don't know. It was just like it was kind of a tough watch for all the right reasons. I don't want to like knock on the movie. It was a good movie, but the last sequence, which I won't get into if you haven't seen it, but it was just beautiful and really, really good and really dramatic, and kind of had some twists and turns, and very, very affecting way to end the movie. It wasn't the very end of the movie, but kind of the pinnacle climax of the movie. Really, really good. Number 1, probably could have chosen 15 sequences from this film.
But which one did he choose?
I went Basic Boy, and I chose the Sandworm from Dune. It was just awesome. I mean, I saw it even before. It was like used as a promotional thing, so I saw maybe most of it before I got in the theater.
What?
I think so, or at least parts of it. And I don't know. I mean, we saw it together. I was like cheering in the theater.
Yeah.
I was being a maniac.
They did it very well.
Oh my God, it was so good.
It was like feel goody. You know what I mean? It was like it was just like, oh yeah. teams together.
And I read the book, and I like the book. It's not one of my favorite books, but I really like the book. And you're just kind of wondering, like, how are they going to do that? Man, they nailed it. We did it.
Yeah,
It was so good.
Super impressive.
I'm going to watch it again after this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
All right, give me your top 5 sequences.
Okay, so coming in at
Scenes.
number 5, and this one I learned recently is, well, I don't know how it makes me feel about choosing this as a scene, but I put down from A Complete Unknown the Bluesman scene, where during the show,
Yeah. The
Pete Seeger's show,
Yeah,
and
that was a good scene.
So I learned 100% fictional,
No.
including that character, the blues guy, is
Oh.
not even a real person.
Yikes.
So that, I don't know how it makes me feel. And I know that there's a lot of, that was one of the controversial parts of the movie a little bit, is that some of the stuff isn't exactly historically accurate.
Does that bother you in a movie?
It doesn't, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends on what the movie is and how much I like really care about the details of the movie. Like if I'm like learning about like a historical event and want it like down to a T, then I care about it because I'm going to walk away and think that actually happened. If I'm watching a Bob Dylan movie, I'm not expecting everything. You know, it's poetic. He's a poet. I'm expecting them to take liberties, and if they do it well, it's fine with me.
I would say on the whole, it doesn't bother me like at all,
Yeah.
because I just want to watch a good movie, and I realize this isn't a documentary.
Sometimes I appreciate it. Like
Yeah.
like Steve Jobs, I like that the way that they did it, because you know it's like 3 acts and it's very specific to how they did it. But you know, people were like, this isn't really what happened at all, and that's fine.
And another example, like Spotlight, which I'm told is a pretty accurate movie, but they aggregate some characters into one character, and they sort of change the
know that.
timeline. No, not like minor characters. This is what I'm not a scholar on that necessarily, but they also change the timeline a little bit to make it more sense for the story. That's fine. Like it's a movie. Like we need to get from point A to point B, and it has to make sense.
Yeah. I actually thought A Complete Unknown could have done a little bit more with making it a little more, I don't know,
Surreal.
Yeah, taking liberties like that. And maybe that's why I like that the Bluesman scene. Really good. He just like it's
That was a great scene.
Yeah.
That's interesting. We had 2 scenes from the same movie.
Yeah, no, well, I almost did the kazoo one instead, which wasn't really a scene. It was more like a prop and something you could see coming, a device. I don't know. Number 4 is and I actually had 2 scenes from this movie too and couldn't really make up my mind. Number 4 is the last scene from Anora, which I feel like made the movie for me. I mean, I thought it was great all the way through, but I don't think it would have been as good without that scene. It's super understated. There's not a lot of dialogue, and it leaves you thinking, and it leaves the audience kind of split as,
oh my God,
as far as what actually happened.
That made my long list for sure.
Nice.
It was great.
Yeah. Number 3 is from a film called Good One, which is about a daughter who goes on a camping trip with her dad and her dad's friend.
No, I didn't see this.
And it is slow paced. It's very vibey, like I said before. Great dialogue, suspense sprinkled throughout. There's a scene halfway through the movie that is like, I honestly should have done my more specific research before. It's like 10 minutes long. And it's a campfire scene that's just a conversation, or kind of multiple conversations. But it kind of just changes the pace of the movie, changes the feel of the movie. It's kind of where you know where the movie is going. And might talk about this a little more later. But I'm kind of in the middle of this scene and I'm like, man, this has been going on for a long time and I haven't really noticed, and it is locking me in. But yeah, go see that movie. If you know what I'm talking about, you know the scene I'm talking about.
All right, I don't even know that movie.
It's good.
Okay, good. It sounds like a good one.
It is A good one. Okay, number 2 is for me, and this is like a sequence. It's kind of multiple scenes, but also from Furiosa.
Oh.
I chose like the first 15 minutes. I love
yeah.
how we get going, and similar to Fury Road, everything just starts right away and you're
Right.
off and running. But this one, it starts off right away and it's like already a story and you're like already following a character
Right.
and you kind of know what's going on immediately somewhat.
Right.
And it goes night to day a lot and it's like really suspenseful and it's like essentially like a chase.
I love chases.
Yeah, it's just, and there's more chases in the movie and Mad Max is like a chase sort of thing, but this feels individual and Homegirl, the younger Furiosa, whose name is Alyla Brown, Alyla, Alyla Brown, who's great. Yeah, I just love the way it starts.
It's like a prologue.
It's like, yeah, it's very good. It's like
It's
a
really
prologue
good.
and it's done well. Sucked me in.
Brutal.
It's brutal. I love Furiosa. My number 1, Basic Boy, Sandworms.
Sandworm. Yes.
I figured you'd go with it, but honestly, it's what we were all expecting. It got the job done. It's just so impressed. The movie's just
They
impressive.
fucking nailed it.
They nailed it, and you didn't leave wanting anything else. Also, when they show up again in the battle,
It's
I mean
incredible.
that's incredible. As
I also
well. And just
almost
like,
went with the
yes!
speech, the Paul Atreides speech in front of all the people down in the South. I am Paul Atreides, Duke of Arrakis.
Yes.
So good.
So good.
Also, the end fight scene. I mean, I could have gone with a bunch of them. Honestly,
Right.
It was so good.
Or the end fight scene, true. Or the gladiator scene. And
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, just like what is
So
going
cool.
on? Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, top
Those are our
five
top five
sequences.
sequences.
We probably could have chosen 10 more, but that was fun.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a quick break before we get into Oscar talk, and then we'll do that. All right, let's talk some Oscars. The Academy Awards are this Sunday, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Conan O'Brien's hosting. Do you know that?
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm into that. Do the Oscars, do you still care about the Oscars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I care about the Oscars.
I feel like
I've always liked the Oscars.
so have I. It's always fun to me. I mean, we kind of touched on this in the last episode. I feel like the 90s were like the biggest time of movies and the biggest time where the Oscars like were watched by millions and millions of people, almost like the Super Bowl, and people cared and got upset when people lost and movies that they didn't like it not or whatever. I just, it doesn't have the same grip hold on the culture as it once did, but I still like them. We still get together and do champagne and fancy hors d'oeuvres for dinner usually.
Yeah.
Just come over.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Sunday. This Sunday.
This Sunday.
My wife's going to be in Napa. I feel like she forgot
You
about
alone?
the Oscars. Well, she'll be back, but I feel like we kind of forgot about the Oscars when we were planning this Sunday. Anyway, Oscars this Sunday should be fun. I kind of want to run through the big 5 categories and just kind of make some predictions. So let's start with Best Picture. I'm going to run through the nominees. I want you to tell me who you think should win, or actually, yeah, we'll start off with should win and then do will win. So we got The Brutalist, Conclave, Nickel Boys, I'm Still Here, Dune Part 2, A Complete Unknown, The Substance, Anora, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. Of those 10, which do you think should win and which do you think will win?
By should, do you...
Just you, just Jack. If Jack were picking the Oscars, what do you think should win? I can go first if you want.
Sure.
I'm actually going to switch up my own prompt and say will win first. I think Anora will win.
I think Anora will win too.
And I've gone back and forth on this, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but I've looked at the precursors, and I've listened to a lot of podcasts, and I think we talked about this last week, but it's now ranked. So like,
Yeah.
you don't just pick your winner,
Right.
but you pick you rank your 10.
I literally said last night, I think it's going to be Anora.
I think it will
Especially
too.
after they won the...
I think they won
SAG.
directors. Did they win SAG?
I think they won...
No, I watched SAG. That was Conclave that won the SAG Awards for ensemble cast. But they won directors and producer, the PG, whatever that is, the Producers Guild Awards and the Directors Guild Awards. They won both of that, I'm pretty sure. It just feels like we're heading towards that. And I got to think that, I mean, Anora was well liked by a lot of people. I can't believe there's too many people that will rank it too far below like 2 or 3.
What do you think is like number 2 in line, you know?
I would probably have A Complete Unknown because, again, I think that's a pretty safe, very good movie that a lot of people will have in their top 3 or 4.
Could be Conclave.
It could be. It won.
Kind of weird.
It won the BAFTAs, the British Film Awards. I mean, it's a British film, so that's kind of
right.
Could be that. I mean, The Brutalist is in there. Basically, I think it's between The Brutalist, Complete Unknown, Anora, and probably Conclave, I guess.
Be crazy if it was doing 2.
Well, that's what it should be. in case that wasn't obvious from my very
Bravatos, confident.
Animated. That's the word I was looking for. It should be Dune 2, but I think it probably will be Anora. I think a few months ago I might have said Emilia Perez, even though I didn't particularly like that movie. And it seemed like a lot of people didn't particularly like that movie, but it was winning a lot of awards up until some of the stuff that came out. We touched on that last week. We don't have to go over it again. So what do you think will win? What do you think should win? You said Anora.
I was thinking the same things.
You think Dune should win too?
I mean, the should win thing, that one throws me off because, I mean, who am I to say should win? Do you want me to tell you what my favorite damn movie of the year is?
Yes, I want you to tell me what your favorite damn movie of the year is.
Well, that's for later.
Well, I mean, of these nominees, I guess. All right, fine. Don't speak on it. Jeez. Okay, we're going to move right on to director. Best director category is Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, Jacques Audiard, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Audiard for Emilia Perez, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Sean Baker for Anora, and Caroline Fargiat. I looked how to pronounce that, and I just forgot. Maybe Fargiat for The Substance.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering that. I actually did look it up the other day and then forgot how to pronounce it. Who do you think will win? And who do you think should win of these nominees?
I think Brady's got it. Far and away.
I agree. He's winning a lot of them.
Yeah. And taking a film like that, I mean, like, you got to give it to the director for getting him there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I also think that should win. Of these nominees, I think that should win based on what I've seen. It was the biggest production. It had the best looking shots. It had the most complicated well, maybe not the most complicated sequences, but very complicated sequences. They got great acting performances. I had no problem with that one, and I think it probably will. Screenplay, this is adapted. We're going to blow through this. Emilia Perez, Sing Sing, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, and Nickel Boys. Any thoughts?
My thoughts are Complete Unknown or Sing Sing.
Yeah.
No, maybe Nickel Boys.
Yeah. Of what will or should?
Of what will. I got Complete Unknown as should.
Yeah, it was really good. I think Conclave will win because it's won a few. And, I mean, I don't really know what should. I guess I'll go with Nickel Boys because I saw that recently. Won a Pulitzer, the book, and it was a really interesting movie. So I'll go with that. But I think I've seen a lot of Conclave wins. I also really like Complete Unknown. I just really like that movie.
Me too.
Original screenplay, September 5, didn't see it. A Real Pain, Substance, didn't see it. Anora and The Brutalist. Any thoughts?
That's a tough one.
It is.
Um,
I didn't see two of the movies.
I think A Real Pain's got it just because it has so much momentum
Yeah.
and it was very well received.
Yeah.
And I think it will. It's a writing movie. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? It seems.
I do know what you
But
mean.
so is Anora, and Anora is like. Okay, Real Pain, I can like visualize the screenplay. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's very a screenplay movie.
Right.
Nora is like, how did they write that? Sort of thing.
Yeah, we talked about
Because
this. Did we talk about
I'm
it
sure there was-
last week? How like they're like talking over each other and you
Yeah,
don't
talking
really
over
know
each
how much
other.
is-
I'm sure a lot of it's ad-libbed
Yeah.
and improvised. But maybe not. I don't know. So maybe I think Real Pain will win. Anora should win.
Yeah, I'm into that. I like that. I also think Real Pain will win, and I think it should win. I just
Yeah,
really
I
like
mean,
that movie.
I don't want to say it shouldn't win because I do think it
Right,
should
we're
win.
kind of nitpicking here. This is just a fun exercise. I also saw something where Sean Baker wrote the movie, directed the movie. We're talking about Anora here.
Yeah.
Wrote Anora, directed Anora. He was the producer and he was the editor. And so I forget where I saw this, but he has a chance for the first time to win 4 Oscars for the same movie in one night. Should he win all those for the same movie?
Those specific 4?
No, just like any one person winning 4 Oscars.
That's never happened before.
I mean, well, because like sometimes directors don't produce their films, and so if
Right.
it wins that, and then oftentimes directors won't edit their films.
That one I can see, but
So
I
it's just-
I would think that there would be another category that they would fit into to
Well, maybe actor, but how
Right,
many
exactly.
times does a director also act in the movie and win for the award?
not win, but Kevin Costner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're talking about winning, though.
Right. That's crazy.
4 Oscars for the same movie in one night. I don't know if it'll happen, but
Good for
that's
him.
pretty crazy. Good for him. Way to go, Sean Baker. All right, best actor. We'll probably have a little bit more opinions on this. Okay, your nominees are Adrian Brody, Timothy Chalamet, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for that movie I've already said 9 times, Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
I've only seen 2 of these movies, so
I'll jump in here. I think, I don't know, because I just watched the SAG Awards and my guy Chalamet won
yeah.
and had a great speech, by the way. I think not everybody will like it, but I'll touch on that in a minute if you didn't see it.
I read quotes of it. Sorry. Continue.
I have thought up until this point that Adrian Brody will win, so I think I'm going to stick with that course. But I do think he would probably be 3rd on my list. I think
Right.
Chalamet should win. I think Coleman Domingo should win after that. I have to admit, I didn't see The Apprentice and don't plan on seeing it, so I'm not sure about Sebastian Stan. But I thought Chalamet was great. I'm not usually a fan of... Well, I shouldn't say I'm not a fan, but biopics often scare me because it's often just like an impression of a real life character. But I didn't think that was this. I thought he was great. A lot of emotion. And Coleman Domingo was fantastic. Adrian Brody was really good. I wouldn't be disappointed if he won, but he's already won. And I thought the other 2 were better, quite frankly. Better is a subjective thing. And we're talking real paper thin slices between the 3.
Yeah.
But I did think he was better. Those 2 were better.
My boy Timmy Shams was great.
He was great. So yeah, he was just like on his acceptance speech. He was just like, "Listen, I'm about that greatness. I want to be one of the greats." And I was watching it. I'd be like, "Man, a lot of people are going to think this is cocky, but I didn't take it that way. It's just like this is what I want, and this is motivating me to go get it. And thank you all for the honor." And it was just like, you don't hear people talk like that very often.
I saw it on Instagram in the form of it looked like a meme almost. And I was like, did he actually say that? Because that's pretty badass.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
was. It was pretty badass.
crazy.
Also, he mentioned like Kobe and some other basketball. I was like, oh, it's NBA
dude's
head.
crazy.
He is an NBA
He
head
is
too.
an NBA head, yeah.
All right, best actress. We got Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Didn't see it. Demi Moore. Didn't see it. Mikey Madison, Cynthia Erivo, and Carla Sofia Gascon.
I
I think this is a 2-horse race.
I will say first, I think Mikey Madison should win, even though I haven't seen everything.
I agree.
But I believe she is probably third in line
Third?
to getting it. I mean, I think
You think
Demi or
Fernando
Fernando
Torres?
Torres
Yeah.
got it. But maybe not.
Maybe not.
I'd be
She was
very
great.
happy for her because I loved her performance. She made that movie.
Yeah, I thought she was great. I didn't see The Substance, but Demi Moore is winning a lot of the precursors and giving great speeches. And I mean, really, like, she's never been considered an actress more than a movie star. Of course, she's an actress, but she's kind of a movie star more so, I guess, in popular culture.
Right. Well, and not anymore.
No,
She
not-
was a movie star.
Right. Well, that's
And then-
another good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen her in movies in a long time, and the fact that she's kind of having this comeback tour as an award-winning actress is pretty cool. And I will be just fine if she wins, even though I didn't see the movie. But I did think Mikey Madison was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that leads right into our top 5 performances of 2024. I think you should go first.
You got it. Okay. 2024 top 5 performances.
Number 5.
Number 5. Number 5, I've got my boy Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love Kieran Culkin. Think he's great.
Sure.
Think he should win, honestly, for supporting.
I guess.
He is kind of got the same vibe and everything, and it is who he is in real life as well.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the part that's throwing me through this whole he's clearly going to steamroll everybody when he's won every precursor.
Right.
And he is legitimately great in the movie.
yeah.
But it is basically how he is in real life, and everything else I've seen him in, that's who he is.
Yeah.
Which
You
now
know,
this
it's
is the
pretty
pinnacle
similar-
of that performance. He's great.
Right, right. Well, I mean, I don't even know if it is. I think he was kind of better in Succession.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Which he also won awards for. And
Exactly, yeah.
He's great. I don't want to take it away from him, but I'm a little surprised it's so one-sided, I guess.
Right. And for Jesse Eisenberg, I just feel like it was like one of his best performances. I mean, maybe his best performance.
Yeah.
I thought he had a lot more. I think his character was a little more complex, maybe not deep down, but as far as, I don't know, just tackling a lot of internal things without having to already have the experience like Kieran does of being the person and
Right.
having kind of like a yappy character that he does.
I feel
Anyways.
like Kieran's was a little bit more of a showy role, but
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Eisenberg had a little bit. I mean, he was like the emotional pillar of the movie, and he
Right.
did a great job. I guess we should also say that Jesse Eisenberg is also doing what Jesse Eisenberg has done throughout his career. But
don't
it was
know.
good. It was a little bit more sensitive. It was a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little more vulnerable, a little
Yeah.
more sensitive. The scene in the restaurant I think they're in where
Kieran has
Kieran
his big
leaves.
thing. Yeah.
Well, he like leaves.
Oh, that's right. And that was his
then
big scene.
He has his
Eisenberg's big
yes.
scene.
What almost made my top 5 sequences list.
I
'cause
forgot
it was
about
so
that. That's
good.
great. That didn't make my
And
long list, but it was
that
great.
was the moment I was like, wow, this is. Yeah, I thought it was.
He's also getting his comeuppance for writing it, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, he was great.
Number 4,
Do you think Jesse Eisenberg was better in that or in Social Network?
Social Network.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Just
I was about to say this might be his best role. I was like,
well, that's immediately what I thought of
Yeah.
when you said that. But
he got nominated for that too. Number 4,
yeah,
my boy, Jude Law. In the order.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, so this almost didn't make my list because I feel like it wasn't the most original character as far as writing.
Sure.
But darn did he do a good job of it.
He really
and
did.
I feel like I never seen Jude Law do that before.
Right.
And it was
He was
just
like tough and gritty as opposed to
he was tough, gritty, just like not the greatest person in the world.
pounding
and,
cigarettes.
Yeah, and I love when the kid that he's taken under his wing.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Finally has a moment where he's an asshole and he's super gnarly with everybody, and he just like
Nice work, dude.
nice work, man. Or he's
You got something.
like, I like where he's going with this. Yeah, thought it was great. Loved the order. and wouldn't have been anything without Jude Law.
Yeah, he was great. He made my long list.
He
and
smoked so many cigarettes in that movie.
It was
constant.
I love it when people do that in movies.
Same with Complete Unknown. It was
pounding
cigarettes.
A couple joints too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on my list until this last little wave of 5 movies and 5 nights for me. Plus,
I do have to say I didn't see Sing Sing. I'm sorry, Coleman Domingo.
Well, I'll get.
Okay. Number 3, I've got Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I love her already. She was great. Love her voice. She was dynamic and complex, and I don't know, that movie made me. That movie gave me all the feels. I liked being around her. That was another theme of my years. I felt comfortable with a lot of the like lead performance people and wanted to like be there by their side.
Yeah, she was great, and her and what's her face?
Ariana Grande.
Yeah, really played well off each other.
Really played well.
They made the movie for me.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't. I think you liked the movie more than I did. I didn't love a lot of the other stuff, but those two, which were most of the movie, quite frankly, were really, really great.
Yeah. Number 2, I've got Mikey Madison.
Yeah.
She's just great. She was another person I kind of like being around her. Not so much because she was in a lot of, tough spots. But I felt safe with her. You know what I mean? Number 1, I got Timmy Shams, Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Not as Paul Atreides, just to be
not
clear.
as Paul Atreides, okay. Right. But also pretty good performance. So when I started
A Complete
Unknown.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to say that.
When I started watching A Complete Unknown, I was immediately just a tad worried that it was going to be a little impression-y or...
Oh, I was 100% worried about that.
Like while you were watching it?
Just leading up to it.
Well, I meant like just kind of towards the beginning. I almost didn't buy it. But then I realized that you were watching him become Bob Dylan.
Right.
And there's just like
almost like developing the persona in real time.
Which it makes perfect sense that, I'm like, is he Bob Dylan-y, or it kind of feels like he's just doing a little Bob Dylan thing. And then you realize that's early Bob Dylan.
Right.
And there's a certain
point. Not even Bob Dylan has figured out who Bob Dylan is.
Where like the second half of the movie, you're just watching Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
In every scene.
He's great.
It's great. That's my top 5.
There we go. All right, my top 5. I kind of cheated a little bit. I did top 5 performances from non-nominees. And I didn't tell you I was going to do that because I figured I didn't know what you were going to do, and I didn't want to just talk about the same 5 performances. So here's my list. Number 5. These are also my top 5 favorite performances, which is whatever, the difference between favorite and best, but these aren't necessarily like, I wouldn't necessarily nominate all these for Oscars, but these are the ones that stuck out to me and that maybe I had the most fun watching, I guess. Number 5, Aubrey Plaza from My Old Ass. She was great. She was doing all her Aubrey Plaza stuff where like deadpan sarcasm was great. That's all wonderful. But she had like 2 or 3 scenes where she was like legitimately acting. Tears were welling. Really good performance in like 2 or 3 scenes just to kind of add on top to what is already a fun watch in Aubrey Plaza and whatever she does. So that was really good. I had my guy, Glenn Powell in Hitman, who is doing all kinds of characters and just like living it up. And we need more Glenn Powell movies. So I have that.
He was really good in Twisters too.
He was.
I like Twisters. I like Twisters more than Hitman. I'm going to be honest.
That's fine. I might too. I don't remember where I have it in my ranking, but it's close.
I wasn't arguing with you. I was just letting you know.
Got it.
I when we were back to sequences, one of the ones that popped up in my head was Hitman, when they do the whole conversation when somebody else is listening.
I had that on my long list.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Notes app or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super good.
Really
I don't know why I was like, I feel like I've never seen this in a movie in some sort of way. I mean,
early on, I just thought of this now, but early on, you know, you don't see too many movies where cell phones play a big part. And honestly, like, I wonder if that is, you know, because like if you're on the
Right.
run or something and someone's chasing after you, all you got to do is like text somebody
Right.
and it's like the movie's over.
Right.
Whatever. I didn't paint that properly, but cell phones are kind of like a big crutch into what is now movie making, developing like tension and drama and everything, because you can just text people or call people at any time.
Yeah.
This was a
You have
really
to figure out ways for people not to have cell phones.
right,
Yeah.
and you know, maybe we'll see more like period pieces now, or maybe it's already happening and I just haven't clocked it in real time. I don't know. That's for
We can make a top 5 list of uses of cell phones in movies if you'd like.
This would make the list.
This
This
would
was a
certainly
really
make the list.
creative way to use modern, not only just like flip phones or whatever, but like modern cell phones and what they can do. It was a really cool way to do that.
Yeah.
It definitely made my list of things to think about.
Nice.
But then I got caught up in sandworms.
Okay.
Also Glenn Powell.
Okay.
Not done talking about him yet. Talk about actor versus movie star. He's a good actor, but he is like what we need right now. And as far as a young movie star, I'm all in on Glenn Powell. This one, he got to do more fun things. He got to play different characters throughout the movie. You're right. In Twisters, he's great. And he's just being Glenn Powell. And that's okay sometimes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know who just Glenn Powell is at this point.
I mean,
I haven't seen him in that many things to know. Because, I don't know, I thought he had a really great character in Twisters.
I
Good
did too,
performance.
but he's just like, you know, he's not like doing anything weird. He's just like hogging up the screen because he's awesome.
Yeah. Well, he has a good arc in that movie.
All right.
Do we dissect Twisters? Is it in my top 5? films of the year?
We'll find out.
It's not.
It didn't make
It's not my top 10.
It's not mine either. I did like it though. Becky liked it more than I did. Anyway, I'm moving on. Number 3. This is from a movie I've already talked about, and I feel bad by saying this did not make my top 5, even though it seems like it would, because it made my sequences and performances. Yes. Natasha Lyonne from His Three Daughters was incredible. She was really, really good. I don't really have a lot of experience with her as an actor or a comedian. I just haven't seen her in that many things. I know she's been in a lot of things. This is kind of not my first experience with her, but this was the first time I've seen where she's kind of like the centerpiece of the movie, and she did great. Really understated performance. I thought the other two actors had a little bit more to do, and she kind of had to carry the emotional weight of the movie. It was fantastic. She was great. Number 2, my guy, Javier Bardem from Dune.
Yeah, true.
I just had so much fun.
Yep.
He, you know, we don't need to litigate his accolades as an actor. He's wonderful. I would say this is not his best objective performance, but he's just clearly having a blast. He has all the best lines in the movie from a comedic standpoint.
Right.
I just had so much fun watching him in this movie.
It's a great like device in the movie to have comedic, to have like gets you pumped. I mean, like, I don't know.
Lisan Al-Gaib, he said that like 900 times.
Right, and it became a meme. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking you, from the books, is that character, is Stilgard like similar?
Super important. I mean, I don't remember him as like it's not a very funny book.
Right.
And that's not a funny movie, but he has like 3 or 4 lines where I was like laughing out loud, and they needed that. But
Right.
it's not like that in the book. But yeah, he's a super important character in the book.
I mean, I figured he's important, but is he like lovable? Like, do you have the same kind of like?
Oh yeah, my guy, Stilgar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He plays a similar role.
Okay.
And like the whole arc where, you know, Paul Atreides is supposed to kill him to take his place, but Paul won't do it, and because Stilgar is the best of us, and why would I like that? That stuff all happens. Good book. Number 1 performance that didn't get nominated for me was Clarence Macklin from Sing Sing. He was a supporting role. I did not know this before I watched the movie, but there were, you know, do you know what it's about? Vaguely?
Yes.
It's about like an acting troupe within the prison
Right.
Sing Sing. So most of the people in the acting troupe are not real actors.
Right.
And neither was Clarence Macklin, or at least not professionally. He was fantastic. Really, just like you couldn't take your eyes off him when he was on screen. I don't know what he's like in real life. I haven't seen any interviews with him. I don't know if he's playing a substantially different character, but he was fantastic. Really, really good. Beautiful movie. Loved it. Clarence Macklin, Sing Sing. And that's my top 5 performances. Yeah. All right, we're going to take another quick break before we break into the real meat of the episode. We'll see you in a minute. So do you want to jump in and do, the meat of the bone of the episode? And
Before we do that,
okay.
I have a top 5 surprise. A top 5 surprise for you.
Oh, I got you with this last week. All right. Okay.
I
Okay.
think it's going to be a recurring thing. Maybe. It's scary, though. It's not exactly a top 5, and I think you'll be readily prepared for this, actually. It is... Joshua.
Yes. I'm nervous.
Tell me your 10 through 6 of your films of the year, please.
Okay, I am prepared for this. As
I
you
knew it.
know, I am on Letterboxd, and I have ranked the last 2 years, of movies that I've watched. Not in one list, but I ranked 2023 and I ranked 2024. Hang on, let me pull this up. Okay, so it's on a grid. It's not numbered, right? So, I got to make sure that I'm counting right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Yeah, I can do this.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
More than ready.
Okay. My number 10 film was Furiosa. Really good movie. I didn't think it quite lived up to Mad Max, and there's a couple things I didn't like about it, but other than that, great movie, great action movie. Really liked it. Number 9 was Flow. Very original. Loved it. Good movie. For those who don't know, that's the cat movie that's no dialogue. Excuse me.
Animated.
Yeah. What am I on? 8? 8 is The Order. Good crime drama with Jude Law. We mentioned it before. It's sick. Number 7, I tried to keep this in my top 5, and then I saw a bunch of movies lately. I couldn't do it. It's Snack Shack, which is a really weird coming-of-age comedy with, really good performances, really funny dialogue, great swearing. Loved it. Snack Shack is good. Go watch it. I think it's on Prime, everybody. And number 6, I have A Complete Unknown, which, again, was hard to keep out of the top 5. I'm not sure if I waited another month, it would still be that way. Really good movie. I don't know if you're going to talk about it, so I'll save talking about it more. But A Complete Unknown was really good. Really liked it.
Nice. Solid 10 through 6, Josh.
Yes.
Man, you were even more prepared than I thought you were going to be. I thought you just had movies that, you knew that you missed your top 5. I didn't know they were all
Well, to that point, I feel like
Letterboxd.
6 through 15 could kind of almost be interchangeable, which is kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of the pod. But as of right now, that's the ranking. In a week, it might be different.
My 10 through 6, Josh.
Let's hear it.
Number 10, I got Long Legs. Loved it.
Didn't
Super dark.
Yeah.
Just a scary movie, but not jump out scary, obviously. Just
7 scary.
Like 7 scary. Yeah, exactly. It paints a picture and as a vibe, and lead actress is great in it. Also, Nicolas Cage is absolutely terrifying, even though he's only in 2 minutes of it. But Jesus, great movie. Number 9, I've got Real Pain.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna like it a little bit more. Maybe went into it with too many expectations. I felt that there were moments that could have been, or scenes that could have been explored a little bit more, but it was super well written, really great performances. Just a good little
movie.
Number 8, I got Wicked.
Oh.
Had a great time watching it. Didn't think I was going to like it. And I was just kind of glued the whole time. I wish it was the full story is kind of my big negative of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It kind of just ends right when it's getting going. But music's great.
Right.
Performances are great. Number 7, I have The Order.
Oh.
Yes.
Was that what I had for number 7? No, I had Snack Shack.
Yeah. I thought it was for a second, then I was like, oh, wait, it wasn't. Number 7, I have The Order. Pretty standard crime thriller drama, which I love.
Yeah, it's going to get me every time.
Right. Really good location.
Yeah.
Number 6, I have Anora.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It almost made my top 5, but...
Clearly.
True. But it didn't quite make the cut. But loved it. And also I liked it the more I thought about it and also learned about it.
That ending was great.
Really good ending. All right.
Here we go. Main top 5s. Who's going first?
You go first.
All right, I'm going to go first. So my number 5, I I wanted to like it a little bit more. I was kind of told it was going to be a masterpiece by people. What the hell was that? By people and media alike. It didn't quite get there for me. It's The Brutalist. Really good movie. It just, the sum of all its parts didn't quite, or the whole didn't quite equal the sum of all its parts for me. Yeah. But the 5 things I loved about it, there's a great scene between Toth and Van Buren, which is Adrian Brody and Guy Pearce respectively, in the middle of the movie. It's essentially a small character drama told with big epic filmmaking, and this was like the heartbeat of the movie for me. It was a really good, captivating scene. Number 4, it looks beautiful. Been well advertised. I don't need to elaborate. The score, da-na-na-na, really good. They hit you with that simple little melody like 4 or 5 times in the movie, and it hits hard. It's great.
If I see this movie and the score isn't you specifically doing da-na-na-na, I'm walking out.
Well, be prepared to walk out, although I am available for hire. Number 2, the filmmaking, again, well advertised. They're shooting on Vista Vision. They're doing it on 35 millimeter or 70 millimeter or whatever they're doing it on, and it's really good stuff. He's in every acceptance speech. Brady Corbet is basically saying it's important to give directors final cut, which I agree with. It just didn't totally get there for me. The whole package didn't get there, but the individual aspects of the filmmaking were great. And number 1, I had the performance of Adrian Brody specifically, but Guy Pearce as well. Both at the top of their game. Really, really good. Number 4, I have A Real Pain, which I guess I liked better than you did.
Yeah.
Really great performances. That's what I got. I also have really great writing. Both of those we've already touched on. And then the combination of that equals really great characters. I just thought the characters were really drawn out. Even the side characters had a lot going on. And it was just really nice. Really good character drama. The number 2 thing I liked was that I like the idea of a small movie that isn't this big, huge production that needs to make $500 million to make its money back. Too. It's just a good movie. Well, it's just a good movie that's, is what it is. And well, that's a stupid thing to say. It's just a good movie that isn't trying to be anything other than a really good character drama. And that's okay. And you're probably not going to think about it for 50 more years, and it's probably not going to sell out 1 million tickets it didn't in the box office. It's just a good movie that you're okay with and you're done with, and you move on to the next good movie. I wish we had 50 more movies like that. And number 1, I liked the fact that it was filmed on a location that I am not familiar with in Poland. I've never been there. I don't have a lot of experience in other media with Poland. I just thought it was great to go visit there and see the sights through the avatar of A Real Pain. Really good. My number 3 movie of the year is Nickel Boys, directed by Ramil Ross. Really good movie. Again, theme of my top 5. It's a beautiful movie to look at. It's a hard-hitting movie. That's another thing I have for it. And it deals with some really intense subject matter delicately, but it's also not being shy about it. Like they're going through the topics. It's really intense. It takes you through, another thing I have is it takes you through some twists and turns and is handled quite uniquely. I think you mentioned that you haven't seen the movie, so I don't want to go too far into it, but the way they kind of deliver the exposition, especially towards the last third of the movie, is done really, really effectively through visual storytelling rather than having a character just explain to you what happened. And there are some twists that I didn't see coming, and the way they handle that is pretty unique. Number 2, I have this movie's going to stay with me for a while. I'm going to be thinking about it. I'm not sure I can accurately explain all the things that I like and all the things, or just to speak intelligently on it that much after seeing it 12 hours ago, because it's a really deep, really tough subject matter movie to talk about. And I've just been thinking, and it's done in what my number 1 is, a really unique way. So I'm just going to have to sit with this one for a little bit. And I love that fact about it. And then my number 1, they filmed this in a completely unique way. It's almost entirely shot from the first person point of view, which I don't think I've ever seen in a movie. And if you're doing something in 2024 that I haven't seen, hats off to you. Whether I liked it or not, hats off to you if you can pull that off. So Nickel Boys, great, great movie. Number 2, I have Sing Sing, which is a similar movie in that it's dealing with prison and specifically black inmates in prison. But this is totally different in tone and story. Really, really good. So the 5 things I love about it: great ensemble cast. I've already touched on both the 2 main actors, but again, didn't know this ahead of time, but the main actors in the troupe, most of them were not formally trained actors and were all wonderful. Love the themes dealt with throughout the movie, predominantly, which is what my number 1 is, but I'll touch on that more then. Vulnerability, finding freedom through art in an otherwise not free situation, male companionship. There's a lot of them, and they're all dealt with really well. Had some great shots in the movie, not just exterior shots, but the way the camera framed the characters. Really, really well done. Extremely effective. Beautiful movie. Number 2, I have Coleman Domingo. Just like tour de force performance. Fantastic. I think I said this. I'd have him number 1 and number 2 in my personal rankings of the Oscar category of Best Actor. I'm not sure who I would have number 1, but the fact that he's closing in on our guy Timmy is impressive.
Right.
And I have him over Adrian Brody. I mean, he's just wonderful. He was really, really good. And the number 1 reason I liked it is that it did deal with vulnerability very well, which is a tough one to deal with, and it dealt with male vulnerability specifically, and I'm not the best person to speak on this culturally, but specifically black male vulnerability. It was just a beautiful movie, and the way they handled that aspect of it, both through various scenes and through the dialogue and through character arcs, was just really fascinating and a story that I don't know, I just don't see very often. It was just really good. My number 1 movie of the year, if it wasn't obvious through my various ramblings throughout this podcast, is, of course, Dune Part 2. Just fantastic. Loved every second of it. I have the first thing on my list of 5 things that I loved about it was everything. I loved everything about it.
Right.
So I'll just blow right through these. Amazing visuals. We've touched on that in other movies, but this is just cream of the crop, top of the top. It looks great. I have movie star performances. You know, we've kind of touched on the really weird difference, hardly a difference between acting and being a movie star. This is more, I think, they're all great as actors, but this was like stars being stars, just being on the screen, clearly having a blast. I just loved it. Kind of championed by our guy Chalamet.
Right.
This is we're entering the Chalamet era.
Paul Atreides.
I have it. Paul Atreides. I have it written down as the Chalamet era.
Nice.
So let's go with that.
I'm down. Send it.
Copyright pending. Incredible action sequences. We already talked about the sandworm. We have the sandworms, plural, in the last battle scene. We have, I'm going to touch on this in a bit, but we have the last, not the last, but the gladiator fight scene and how it looks crazy with the infrared camera. We have the scene where they disrupt the Harkonnen spice production, and Zendaya rocket launches that dude into a ship. I'm like in the theater standing up, clapping. Moment. I loved it so much. Incredible action sequences. And then the last thing I have for Dune is the fact that they've done a few things in this movie that I have not seen before. And we touched on whether, like in 2024, if you can do that, my hat's off to you.
Right.
They had the scene in the beginning where the Harkonnens like lifted off the sand and were going.
Those dudes flying.
I fucking love that. They had we touched on Gady Prime and the infrared light. I mean, that just looked crazy and creepy and weird and offsetting. Really good.
Never seen anything like that.
Yeah, the set design was unique. The whole water of life, trippy, mind-altering thing with. I mean, the whole thing was great. I loved every second.
Worm
of it.
piss.
Worm piss. Well, it's not really. It's like dead worm vomit. But
dead worm vomit.
They say. Well, maybe it is. They say worm piss in the movie.
They do. That's what I thought. That's why I thought it was.
Well, they get it out of the mouth, though. I don't know.
It's a worm.
I don't know. Anyway, that's my top 5.
Love it. Nice.
Yeah.
Super surprising number 1.
I might make it my number 1 for 2025.
Damn.
It's so good. All right, hit me with your list.
All right, my list, my top 5 films of 2024. Coming in at number 5, I've got A Complete Unknown.
Oh, yeah. Good.
That's the most recent movie I saw. And as it was happening, I was like kind of unsure of how good it was. But at the end of it, when I just wanted to jump right back in, I knew that it was super solid. Obviously.
Yeah, I felt that way too.
Yeah.
Also, when our parents saw it, our mom said that the people that were next to them had seen it 5 times.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. My top 5 reasons. 5, bringing Bob Dylan to life. I've always loved Bob Dylan. I had a phase in high school where he was like all I listened to for like a year.
Hell yeah.
Pictured movies being made of him and, you know, all these things going through my mind. So when they finally happened, other than the other one with Cate Blanchett, when it finally happened, like a true Bob Dylan film, a tough thing to land, and they did a damn good job.
They really did.
The number 4 reason I have is the supporting cast.
Yeah.
Edward Norton, Monica Barbaro, Elle Fanning. I thought they were all great. I liked
Boyd
I liked
Holbrook.
them all. Yeah, and I didn't know it was Boyd Holbrook until after I watched it. I was like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I thought he was great.
He was.
He was maybe better than Joaquin. I mean, he looked way more like him. He looked exactly like Johnny
He did.
Cash. It was crazy. And I love going back to the Johnny Cash character. I love what he played in the movie, and so little needed to be really said, but you just know the significance it had on Bob Dylan.
Yes.
And it changed the course of a lot of things.
Yes.
Like if he wasn't there, would he have done Electric at the show?
I don't know.
You know, that was a nice little piece of
Little devil on his shoulder.
Yeah, and a nice little piece of like, ooh, history, even if maybe it's not accurate. I don't know.
Can't confirm. Wasn't there. I don't care either.
Yeah, I don't care. My number 3 reason is kind of my theme for my top movies of the year is just the vibe. Just I liked being there. I liked being in Greenwich. I liked all the people, and I wanted to keep going. I saw somebody make a list of A Complete Unknown Part 2 and what it would cover, A Complete Unknown Part 3 and what it would cover in Bob Dylan's life.
Let's do it.
And I was like,
Chalamet.
wow.
Chalamera.
Shalamera. We are in it. The number 2 reason is Shalamera. Timmy did a great job in this one.
He did.
And I love the little subtle nose. I don't know if you knew that
Subtle nose.
he had a fake nose on, actually.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. It
Oh,
wasn't
no,
even
I did
that
not know
different
that.
of a nose, but just a little bit different, just to give
Okay.
him that little extra edge.
Wow, I didn't clock that.
It worked.
All
It
right.
plays. The nose plays. The number 1 reason I have is the music. The
Yeah.
music is constant in the movie, which I loved. Just when you think that there hasn't been music for a bit, it happens. The mixing was great. The sound was great.
All the actors did a great job singing and
Such
singing
a
like
good
their
job.
characters.
See, she sounded exactly like Joan Baez. When she first sang doing oh man, when they were in the
Was that the
bedroom,
nightclub? Oh,
well, when they first sang together, when she first did her harmonies on top of Bob
yeah,
Dylan.
yeah. When they're sitting on the bed.
Yeah, when they're sitting on the bed, and it like sounds exactly like when they do harmonies together and
Yeah.
you know, in life. It was just it was so perfect.
We're there.
Yeah, Complete Unknown. Those are my 5 reasons. Great
Good
movie. Number 4, I have Flow.
Oh, okay.
I'm a cat guy, for those who don't know. I have one, and
The cat is here, by the way. I don't know if we're
don't know
hearing it
where
in
he
the
went.
background of the podcast, but no, he
might have
jumped over the
escaped.
fence. He's not here right now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, my
Shout
5
out,
reasons. My number 5 reason is normalize cat movies. Man, we got enough dog movies. Bring on the cat movies. Though this one, I don't think you're gonna be able to top it because it is literally the exact, like, it does so many cat things. I mean, the movement of that cat is just, I don't know. It's great.
Kind of looks like your cat too.
It does kind of look like my cat, which didn't hurt me. Truthfully, that's not one of my reasons, but I guess that's kind of the cat reason.
Sub reason.
Number 4 is the capybara.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite character
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Um,
That was funny.
did a great job. This movie just did a great job of. This isn't really one of my reasons, but it should be, of not having dialogue.
Visual storytelling.
Visual storytelling. Yeah. I look back and I can practically hear dialogue. Like I don't think of it as a movie without dialogue.
Right. They did a really good. I mean, you don't need it.
The animals are communicating the whole time,
Totally.
which is crazy. But yeah. Number 3, and this is just a little fun fact, is the director, and I'm going to try to pronounce their name, Gins Zilbalotis.
That
Latvian.
Okay.
Also, shout out Latvia. Shout out that this animated film about animals with no dialogue got international film.
Oh yeah, that's
nomination.
right.
Badass.
Way to go.
But yeah, the director also was the co-composer.
Oh.
And it had good music too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at
Never
that.
really heard of that one.
Clint Eastwood style.
Oh, true. I guess I have heard of that one.
His compositions are kind of just okay.
Number 2, and this is back to my vibe. It's very immersive. You're really there. The story starts off right away and boom, and you're following the cat until the very end.
Yeah.
And you're just in it. It's super immersive.
Very
It's
vibey.
Very vibey. It's super beautiful. Number 1 is the originality.
Yeah.
You're hard pressed to find another movie like this, I'd say.
Yeah. We've said that a lot in this podcast.
We have said that a lot in this podcast, which is a good sign of the year.
Yeah.
My number 3 film of the year is Furiosa.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. I loved it. I loved it from the get-go. Obviously,
Okay.
the first 15
Right,
minutes
right,
were one of my
right,
favorite
right.
sequences of the... But yeah, it had me hooked right away. My number 5 reason of liking this movie is that... Well, I guess I should... My bad. I just hit the camera. I guess I should say I like this more than Fury Road.
Okay. I mean, whatever. Good.
Might be a
I
hot
think
take.
that's a hot take in the general ether.
No way, dude. This is Fury Road with a story, I'd say. I love the story of this. I love the protagonist. But just having everything that I liked about Fury Road with more of a story that I enjoyed kind of did it for me. My number 4 reason is Anya Taylor-Joy. I just liked her a lot. Thought she was super captivating. Pretty, I don't know, subtle is the right word for the performance, but didn't have a whole lot of dialogue, but just sold it. It was just great. Had me going. I loved being with her the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, she had to do a lot with less because there isn't a lot of dialogue, and
Right.
it was a very physically demanding role.
It's super
too.
super physically demanding. Yeah, number 3, I have the story down here, which we kind of already touched on. Number 2 is the visuals. This is actually a different cinematographer than the first one.
Oh,
Which they did a good job of matching the vibes. George Miller, obviously a visionary
master.
of story. Yeah. And number 1, I got the action. I think the action with the background of everything else I just said just makes it a great movie.
and it really is top-notch action. I like the action from Fury Road a little bit better, but if we didn't have that, we wouldn't even skip a beat,
Right.
because the action is so good in this movie.
Right. My number 2 film of the year is Good One.
Good one.
I love this movie.
I don't even know what this movie is.
I love this movie. This movie is about a girl going on a backpacking trip with her dad and her dad's weird friend. That's all you need to know. That's all really the story is.
That is as much as I know about it, hearing it right now.
Right. This was one movie I watched this year that as soon as it rolled to credits, I said, loved it. Wouldn't change a thing.
Wow.
Out loud, vocally. My number 5 reason is the middle scene that I already kind of discussed. It's
Right.
great. Changes the course of the movie. Number 4 is the general tone of the movie. I thought it was going to be, based off of the trailer, I thought it was going to be a little like more dark and suspenseful throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
But it develops really nicely. You're not freaking out the whole time, and you're kind of just experiencing somewhat of a weird trip. You're trying to, with, weird people, and you're kind of
Right.
trying to figure out the dynamics. Things get a little more dicey as they go, but it kind of goes with one of my later points, so I'll make that later.
Okay.
My number 3 reason is the essentially the supporting cast, who are the two men in the movie. The dad is somebody that it was weird. I thought I recognized him from a movie, and then I looked at his filmography. I mean, I definitely recognize him, but I thought I recognized him from like a bunch of random movies.
Right.
And then I looked at his filmography. He's in a bunch of movies, but I hadn't seen that many.
Interesting.
Yeah. But both of them were great in their own ways. One's like a kind of lame dad, and the other is just like a guy who should not be on a backpacking trip. It unfolds really nicely. My number 2 reason is Lily Kalias, I believe is how you pronounce her name.
Okay.
Sam is the character. She's great. This is her first movie.
Oh.
Young actress. She's going to do things, you can already tell.
Okay. How young is she?
She's
like in the give or take.
in the movie, she's about to go into college.
Okay, so like late teens.
Yeah, she's late teens. Great. And somebody who there's an interesting dynamic, and it kind of goes with what I'm saying as far as not being like super worried or nervous or tense, is that she handles things so well and so maturely and so kind of like, you know, it could be a movie where somebody's really like nervous and scared the whole time about the situation he's there in, and like I said, that happens, but she's not. She handles all the situations really well, and I love it.
That's cool, man. I'm intrigued by this movie.
Yeah, it's good. My number 1 is India Donaldson. This is her first film. She's the writer, director, and producer of this film.
Oh, man.
First one,
Triple
knocked
threat.
it out of the park.
Sean Baker style. I wonder if she
very
edited
Sean
it.
Baker style. Yes, this movie did it for me. It's kind of like everything I want in an indie film.
Yeah.
My number 1 film of the year, Josh, is also Dune Part 2. I kind of
it should be,
wasn't
Jack.
sure if I saw this one coming, but when I was putting the list together, it just did it for me the most, and I think it's the most impressive film of the year.
Well, we saw it in the theaters. I mean, I was like on cloud 9. Couldn't,
Right.
Is this the best movie I've ever seen in my life?
Yeah.
And you definitely liked it. You just didn't seem to like it as much as I did, which, to be fair, in retrospect, no one did.
Right. And also it's a pretty crazy movie going into not knowing what's going to happen, because I thought it was going to be more about the Holy War, which it is about the entire time.
Yeah,
but the
right.
actual war
I remember
doesn't,
you said that.
You never even really see it. They show it in like a montage at the end.
And I don't
besides
think
the
you
first
will
battle.
see it based on the books. I could be
Right.
wrong
No,
if they
and
choose
you
to not.
told me that that's how the book ends. It kind of just, and I remember our mother reading it and saying she didn't like it because it literally gets all wrapped up in the last chapter or something. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I
Kinda?
mean, that's part of the reason I didn't like the book too, but I didn't mind that part, not necessarily that I didn't get to see the Holy War, but just like that last half of the movie is done in like 50 pages, and the
Right.
whole book is like 800 pages.
Right.
So it just gets wrapped up really quickly.
Yeah. But no, when I saw it for a second viewing, just knew kind of what to expect. I enjoyed it a lot more.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, we kind of said everything. My number 5 reason I wrote down, doesn't give a fuck. This movie Denis doesn't care if the viewer, he doesn't worry about the audience understanding. He
Not a lot of hand holding.
not a lot of hand holding, which I love. And I love being confused in movies.
You do love being confused in movies.
Yeah, it's kind of fine. As long as I get some sort of explanation and I'm having a good time, I'm good. Number 4, I just wrote down Worms. We covered that enough. Number 3, I got cinematography, obviously
Yeah, looked
amazing.
great.
Number 2, I got cast. We went over that. Lisano guy, it became a meme. It was great. And then number 1, I got Denis. He's a visionary. He's great.
He's a master.
Yeah.
The hype is real.
He's going places. I can't wait to see what he does after the Dune world. I mean, I can't wait to see Dune Messiah.
I agree. I mean, I think he briefly said he was going to do something else before Dune 3 and then went back on that. Just finish it up, dude. We all want it. But I am intrigued to see what he does after that. Is he going to do another property, or is he going to like do his own thing? I don't know. I mean, it should be fun. He's done a lot of really interesting, fun work with science fiction and thrillers and action. I mean, I'm intrigued, and those are all my things, by the way.
Yeah, right.
And I'm intrigued to what he sees. I'm intrigued to see what he does next. But first, Dune Messiah.
Right. Good. Let's get it going.
Let's get it going. I don't know if they'll call it that. They'll probably call it Dune Part 3.
They're calling it Dune Messiah.
Are they?
Like, I'm pretty
Official?
sure I don't know if it's official, but he's referring to it as.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what the second book is called. The second book is significantly shorter than the first book, so it kind of makes sense. Anyway,
And there you have
so
it.
those are our top 5 movies of the year. We'll kind of give a wrap up at the end, but first I wanted to just hit on some movies in the next coming year that I am looking forward to. And they are, well, it's not exactly 5. I have a bunch listed here. So the first one I have is Mickey 17, a new Bong Joon-ho movie. Sign me up. That guy is like one of the true original filmmakers we have, and I'm excited to see what it is. I've seen the trailer. I know loosely what it's about. I'm trying not to find too much about it. We talked about seeing it possibly together, so hopefully that works out. But I definitely want to see it.
Let's do it. I owe you a movie and a dinner.
Well, I wasn't going to put that on public record, but sounds good.
I would like to put it on public record. Let's get it going. Mickey 17.
I bet that's the first one that's coming up this year that I want to see. Sinners is also another one, a new Coogler movie, a new Coogler Michael B. Jordan collaboration, which maybe all of his movies are? Question mark? I don't know.
Michael B. Jordan in Ryan Coogler movie?
Yeah. Can't think of one that isn't. Anyway, I'm excited to see that. I know has something loosely, at least, to do with vampires. I also heard that
he did Black Panther 2, which I don't think
that didn't have
because they killed him off.
Right. Oh, that's fair. I also heard Michael B. Jordan is playing twin brothers in this movie, which
Paul Dano.
Yeah, right. Which has me a little scared because I really like Michael B. Jordan, but you have in the past had some issues with him sort of playing the same character, which is very valid, or I actually don't want to speak for you, but him trying to play 2 different characters has me a little, my warning lights are perking up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think he can play different characters. I'm all about that. My thing with him is I feel gets a little overacty sometime for me.
Oh,
just
okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong about that. I really like him, but I'm a little bit. Let's say again that I'm currently intrigued.
Yeah, definitely.
So next, I have Superman and Fantastic Four as the 2 big superhero movies this year. Superhero movies still kill at the box office, but seem to have taken a little bit of a back seat as far as the general population is concerned with regards to good movies. And Marvel in particular has pretty much lost the plot, in my opinion. Can they get it back with Fantastic Four, a huge property that they recently acquired? I don't know. If they don't, we're looking at maybe the end of Marvel as we know it.
Do you think that we give the MCU a little, not too much credit, but the first, not phase, but up until Endgame, there's a pretty good amount of not great movies in there. But what made it good is that we were following a storyline through the whole thing, which is, I think, what they've lost. I guess my question is, do you think the movies have really gotten that much worse? Or do you think that there's just less of, yeah, I kind of do too. When it came out like that, I kind of do too.
I think, well, if we want to dive into this, I think a couple things happened. I don't necessarily think any of those individual movies are truly great, but a lot of them are very good and they told one continuous story.
Yeah.
Now I think, some characters died off, some actors retired, whatever you want to call it. But now they're doing television shows and other movies and introducing new characters and still trying to connect them to one singular plot line where we don't necessarily know what the villain is. I mean, we know now that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Dr. Doom, which I like Dr. Doom. I don't know if I like Robert Downey Jr. playing. It seems like they're please come help us save our franchise again.
Yeah, it's super
Robert
weird.
Downey. It is weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know if there's...
is he a Tony Stark from another dimension? I don't know.
Or is there any sort of reason, why he got it? What is the reasoning?
It seemed to me that they panicked. They were going to use Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, which I was all in on, and then the Jonathan Majors stuff happened, so I get why they backed off. But I don't know. It just seems like they flew a little too close to the sun and had too much going on and are still trying to keep it under one umbrella.
Yeah, the fact
and
that they introduce new characters and shows that nobody's going to watch.
that's the
you know,
thing, man.
like,
It's
come
like
on.
you're doing too much. You
Yeah.
had the pie and you tried to slice off more pieces of the pie and you lost us. So I don't know. Can they get it back with Fantastic Four? I don't know. But if they don't, I think Marvel and they'll still make Marvel movies, but I think they're in real trouble to sort of gain the cultural significance that they had. Fantastic Four and X-Men down the road are huge properties that people really love. So if these movies are good, I think they can get it back. But if they're not good, they're in real trouble. So, and then Superman, now that James Gunn's running the show, DC's been a mess, but
Yeah,
I'm
DC's
ready to
been a
kind of
mess.
like, we'll start over.
Yeah.
If you get Superman right,
Right.
I'm
I'm
willing to
happy
listen.
that they scrapped it.
Yeah, I am too. Just, cut the losses and start over. So we'll see. That's interesting. Next, I have 3 big, next movies in otherwise already started properties, and that is Mission Impossible 8, my thing. Into my veins, please. Wicked 2, less my thing, but I'm still intrigued.
Oh, we get Wicked 2 this year? That's good.
That's what it says. And Avatar 3,
Nice.
which
I didn't see the second one.
it was good. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm at least intrigued. I don't know if that'll, all those movies always get delayed, so who knows. But,
Tough crowd.
it's going to be a big event.
Yeah.
Somehow those movies all make $200 billion.
Oh, yeah.
Fine, great. And then the last 2 movies I have for the next year, Highest to Lowest, which is a new Spike Lee Denzel movie, and it's based on Kurosawa's High and Low, a classic. So I'm intrigued about that. And we got a new PTA movie coming out,
My guy.
which I know nothing about, except that Leo's in it.
Do you
sign
want to
me
know
up.
a little bit more?
Do
how
I?
I don't know. How about maybe some more cast members?
Do you have them pulled up?
I do.
Okay, hit me with it.
Sean Penn.
Okay. He was in Licorice Pizza.
I thought this said Woody Harrelson, but it says Wood Harris.
I don't know if I know who that is. The name sounds familiar.
Is this just a stupid Wikipedia page?
Wood Harris.
Oh,
he's
Remember the Titans?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that guy. Regina Hall, Benicio.
Nice.
Alana Haim, who was
She was also
Pizza.
in Licorice Pizza. Hey, big cast in a PTA movie. I am 98% confident it's going to be excellent.
Got filmed in Humboldt. I think it's going to be.
Oh.
I think it's going to maybe be like a drug crime thriller, possibly.
Again, sign me
But
up.
who knows?
Yeah, so we got some stuff, real stuff to look forward to this movie.
For sure.
Some of these I'm not necessarily looking forward to them, but I'm just interested in seeing what the storyline is.
Yeah.
But a lot of these movies are good directors creating original films.
Captain America, listeners out there, Captain America also just came out last weekend.
Something like that, maybe 2
Bombed.
years ago.
Everybody hates it.
Everybody hates it.
Not gonna see it in theaters. That's for sure.
No. I listened to the Big Picture about that. Shout out Big Picture. And all 3 of them hated it.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
So, again, kind of goes into what we're talking about with Marvel. Can they get it back? I think yes, but they got to nail these next few big movies. I think they
They just got to do X-Men, dude.
have Fantastic Four, X-Men's coming a little bit later, and they have a couple Avengers movies coming. They have to nail at least half of those movies,
Yeah.
or else they're in real trouble.
Right.
So, all right, before we jump out of here, I wanted to hit you with a question. This is a secret question that you did not know about the grossing films of this movie. One studio had the top 3 grossing films of the year. Can you A, name the studio, and can you B, name the movies I'm talking about? It's a big studio.
I want nothing more than to say A24, but I know that's not it because they just release movies literally every 5 seconds. And
Right.
every time I go on my phone, I see a new movie coming out, and it just happens. They no longer look like A24 movies. Also,
Right.
like now I'm just seeing movies that I would never guess is an A24 movie, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. I don't think none of them are really gross that much, but
20th Century Fox. Does that even still exist?
I don't know. Yes.
I have
but
no idea.
Disney.
Oh, wow.
Can you name the movies?
Inside Out 2.
Yeah, that was number 1.
Moana 2?
That was number 3. You have to think outside the box for the second one. It's a superhero movie.
Wolverine, Deadpool.
Yeah, that's it.
Wolverine,
Deadpool, Wolverine. Those are the 3. So Disney cleaning up, even though we're saying the demise of superhero movies. Anyway, that's our wrap up of 2024 movies. Thanks for listening. I'll give do we want to give like a quick recap of our top 5s? So I had The Brutalist, A Real Pain, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing, and my number 1 movie was, of course, Dune Part 2.
And I had A Complete Unknown, Anora, Flow, Furiosa, Good One, and Dune.
Anora, I thought that was your number 6.
I had A Complete Unknown, Flow, Furiosa, Good One, Dune.
Oh, we got to keep our continuity here.
Yikes.
That's pretty funny. Thanks for listening to the High Fives podcast. We had a great time. Tell us how we were wrong. Do your own list. We encourage you to do it. Do you want to tease next week's episode?
No way, man.
All right,
Keep it secret.
all right, we're saving next week.
Be ready, though.
I'm me?
No, that. But
Yes.
You too.
Stay vigilant, everyone.
Yes.
Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you in the next one.